What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. UFC 264 is over. We had a crazy end to the main event, Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Let's talk about it. So this fight started off really promising for McGregor. He was looking good. He came out sharp, throwing kicks. One time he landed a body kick right at the start, and you could see that it affected Poirier a bit, and it was looking promising for McGregor. It looked as though, he was coming out as a complete mixed martial artist, which is what a lot of us said he needed to do to perform well in this fight. However, Dustin was also doing well. Dustin actually hurt Conor McGregor with a punch, which is what caused Conor McGregor to duck under. He didn't necessarily shoot, but he clinched up because he did get stung with a punch. So everything McGregor was saying before the fight about, the first one to shoot is he ended up being the first one to shoot. And then, to a lot of people's surprise, McGregor jumped to a guillotine. He had it for a split second. You heard Dustin Poirier talking after the fight, and he said that, he let him get the guillotine, and he always planned to just jump over to the side when they went on the ground. But then he kind of got stuck on the fence for a split second, and he's like, ooh, you might have played yourself here. But he wasn't in any real danger. He was able to get out of the guillotine. Conor held on to it for too long, and even in jumping for the guillotine, you could see that Conor's grappling is not his strong point. Yes, he can grapple. Yes, he knows the fundamentals of how to do a guillotine, but the hesitancy, and he didn't look as comfortable in the grappling as he does in other areas. So I definitely think it was a bad idea to jump the guillotine there, especially given the fact that Dustin Poirier is a very good grappler and knows how to stay safe on the ground. When we got to the ground, that's when things took a serious turn for Conor McGregor. It went downhill from there. Dustin Poirier was landing some nasty ground and pound, and he was not letting up. And Conor's defense was not very good on the ground. He was not able to hold on to Poirier. He was not able to avoid most of the ground and pound. He just ate a lot of punches. And something that we have seen now over the course of Conor's career is that he's really good at being the hammer, but he's not good at being the nail at all. Conor McGregor is not good at taking punches. He does not like to get hit. It almost in some ways kind of reminds me of Brock Lesnar, where he's big and bad, but the moment he starts to get hit, he's rolling on the ground and he's running around and stuff. He just doesn't like to get hit. Conor is not to the extent of Brock Lesnar, of course, but still, Conor doesn't like to get hit, and he's not good under pressure. Anytime he gets under pressure, you see he starts to fade. You could see on his face that he's not enjoying it, and he kind of starts to panic, and he doesn't do good when he's being smashed. And I think this also plays into the fact that Conor McGregor does not have as much heart as fighters like Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. With all that being said, Conor McGregor was able to get back to his feet. Although he did that by cheating, he was holding the inside of Poirier's glove and trying to throw up kicks, which is what Poirier kind of stopped and turned to Herb Dean to tell him. And while talking to Herb Dean, Conor was able to get back to his feet. And then the freak accident happened. And that's what it was, guys. It was a freak accident. Dustin Poirier thinks it was due to a leg kick that he checked, but when you zoom in and when you slow down that clip, Conor landed on the foot, and he did not land on the shin area by his tibia. So I highly doubt that was the cause of the break. John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor's coach, said that his foot broke when he threw a kick and he clashed with Poirier's elbow. That too, I think, is incorrect, because Conor, when you look at it and you slow it down, Conor did not really touch Dustin's hand. He did not connect with the elbow. It was a pretty clean body kick, and I do not think at all that was the cause of the fracture. So the only thing I could point to, which may or may not be the reason, is I think it was a buildup of wear and tear. I think that there would have been significant micro fractures there beforehand, and just the accumulation of kicks, because Conor was throwing some hard kicks throughout this fight, and just the accumulation of kicks and the accumulation of him putting pressure on that foot and on that bone just caused it to snap at the wrong time. I don't think there was one specific thing that happened in the fight that caused this. I think it was just on the edge where it was waiting for that little bit of pressure to finally snap, and it did. So while Dustin Poirier was winning this fight and he was doing well, it was trending in his direction and he was getting a lot of momentum, I don't necessarily think it's fair to say that Conor McGregor's injury was caused by Dustin Poirier. If the fight had continued, I do think that Dustin would have gotten the better of him, because it just seemed to me that Dustin was more in control and Dustin was more comfortable being in a fight. And we all know that as time goes on in the fight, that does not favor Conor McGregor. But this is the fight game. Anything could happen. Conor McGregor could have come back and knocked out Poirier in the second round. Who knows? It kind of reminds me of the title fight with Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. Chandler beat the brakes off Oliveira in the first round, and if the fight ended there, you would think Chandler was going to win that fight anyway, etc, etc. But second round came, Chandler got knocked out. So you never know in this fight game. It's unfortunate that this happened to Conor. Hopefully he recovers. I wish him a speedy recovery. I definitely was not a fan of his antics afterwards. Him talking about Dustin Poirier's wife, calling his wife a hoe and all those kind of things. I'm not a fan of that. That's unnecessary to me. At this point, you're not really selling the fight or anything. That's just nasty, and I didn't like it at all. Conor McGregor is normally very humble in defeat, but I guess he kind of felt as though he didn't lose this one and he got angry and frustrated. But yeah, I didn't approve of that at all. I didn't like that. Dustin Poirier, I'm glad that he got the win. I'm glad that he's going to fight Charles Oliveira next. That should be a great fight, and he has a good chance of winning that fight as well. Dustin Poirier is a good example of how a fighter should be, and I'm happy for him. Anyway guys, that's the end of this video. Please remember to like, please remember to subscribe if you enjoy my content. We are on the road to 300 subscribers, so help your boy out, and I'll see y'all in the next one.